Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca. Happy 7th of December, everybody. It's flying. That's all I'm saying. It's flying. But anyway, today's Advent gift is a bigger bag. So to open this one, in this Advent gift we have a tote bag with a silver diamond. So it is a subtle nod to diamond painting, but does not have to be all about diamond painting unless you want it to be. You could use it to store your diamond painting goodies if you're on the go, mini sets. You could use it to store your Advent bits. You could use it to do your shopping. It is completely up to you. But yeah, we have a nice cotton tote bag for today with a sparkly diamond because we love our sparkly little bit of glitter for Christmas. So that's today's Advent gift, and today we are on day 7, so we're still on the columns at the moment, though that will change tomorrow, and I don't think I'll need to do any adjusting on here. Maybe I'll squeeze over number 10 ever so slightly just to give me a little bit more wiggle room. Doesn't need a lot. And number 12, I'm only going to move that because then it'll actually cover that little gap a little bit better. There we go. Oh, we've got some of the rocks today. That should be good. So let me zoom you all the way in, and then I can adjust my canvas, try and make sure that I am in the middle. I'm working with our signature pink tray today with this gorgeous pen that I got from Diana. It's a Pinot pen, if that focuses. There we go, it's a bit shiny. But yeah, gorgeous pen that was gifted to me by Diana. And I'm just gonna get in my box of tricks. And we're going to start. There's quite a bit of black on today's because we're doing this stone wall. But yeah, I hope you'll have it, or you've had, depending on what time you're watching this, a fantastic weekend. I'm actually filming this on Saturday. I was hoping to film Sunday and Monday's Whip and Waffles on Friday so that I could have the weekend to get some stuff done. But yeah, yesterday I had too many orders. Basically, I had too many things that needed doing with orders and a few other bits admin wise in the background. So rather than try and film and then rush as to whether I would be able to get all the bits done that was needed for orders, you know, rather than doing a whip and waffle first and then trying to figure out, hang on, sorry, one of the kids came home. This is the reason I tried to get my whip and waffles done during the week. But yeah, rather than trying to get a whip and waffle done while the light was still there and then panicking about having enough time to get the orders done, because there was a few Advent ordered, and I wanted to get them out because it was Friday, so there's the chance they were also UK. Well, one of them was UK, so there was a chance that it could arrive today, or if not, possibly tomorrow, because Royal Mail are delivering on a Sunday now to get through everything. So I didn't want to potentially have to wait, even though the order was placed late on in the day. Yeah, I wanted them to be able to have it because it's a deal, isn't it? It's a big deal. So yeah, by the time I'd finished doing orders, while I finished them at about 3 and would have had plenty of time to film beforehand, I wasn't sure that I would. And the lighting just goes. By 3 o'clock, the lighting's just shocking. So I suppose that's one drawback of not having lights set up, is I can't film later. But do you know what? We go with the flow. Hubby has just gone out to Farm Foods. He's also gone to the tip with some stuff that has been floating around in the hall. Because we have a side quest this weekend. A non-expected side quest that always happens. But anyway. We like to go out on a Friday night. We go to a local-ish sailing club that we are members of, and yeah, chatting to the absolutely adorable people there, and we were chatting all sorts of different stuff all evening, as you do. Have a natter, and yeah, so it went on to the topic, as it often does, of weather and washing. Because we did talk other more interesting stuff, believe me. But, you know, daily stuff comes up as well. And somebody was saying how, yeah, even though there's only like 2 of them, how they, you know, couldn't live without their dryer and all that sort of stuff. And we do have a combination washing machine dryer. However, the dryer part of it takes absolutely ages. It's always the case when you get one that is a combination, it always takes longer to dry than a dryer that is purely just a dryer, and that's all it's meant to be. A washer dryer always takes longer. And a lot of the time when I'm needing a dryer, it's not because, oh, I just need this one thing drying. It's because I've got behind on the washing. Because when life gets busy, it seems to be the washing that can fall by the wayside a couple of days. But in a house of 6, 2 days is quite shocking, to be fair. So, yeah, it made me think, oh, I wonder, you know, like I can't fit a dryer in my kitchen. Not without changing the whole kitchen, making some of my thin cupboards deeper to fit it in, like, you know, or getting rid of my dishwasher, which is not happening. There is just no way to fit a dryer into my kitchen. And I don't want one in the conservatory. We've just whittled down what furniture is actually in the conservatory recently. And I am loving the space now. I feel like it's, you know, it's a lot more freedom of movement. And when all of us are in the room, it doesn't feel anywhere near as small. And I wouldn't want a tumble dryer just sat in the conservatory either. But I did think I could put it under the stairs. Now, under the stairs in our house currently has a cupboard and the coats, has the coats hung up, and it has a cupboard that holds the games. It's a games cupboard. But we're not in and out of the games all the time. So then I was like, ooh, I said to the ladies, I said, I'll have to have a think. I'll have to process through where I can put the games to then be able to free up under the stairs, to then put a tumble dryer under the stairs. So so my brain started whirring, and I figured there's loads of space under my bed. If I do a charity shop run, I'll have loads of space under my bed to put the board games, and therefore I could fit a tumble dryer under my stairs. So that is this weekend's mission. So hubby has taken a couple of bits that were left over from the old rug and things from doing the conservatory. He's taken those and some boxes that, you know, we fit a lot into recycling, but sometimes we have too many. So he's taken some of those bits on his trip out today. And yeah, my plan for later on today is to try and get a tumble dryer that will go under the stairs, that is a dedicated standalone tumble dryer, so that I can get through my washing. And know that in the future, you know, any washing, there will still be some that has to go on the maiden. There is, you know, I do find in the UK especially, I don't know whether it's the same everywhere else, but there are quite a lot of clothes that cannot be tumble dried. But for those that can, even just bedding, just being able to get through the bedding, then having to try and dry that. Yeah, I think that's going to be a huge benefit to our family of 6, and will probably make me a lot happier knowing that if I do have a crazy few days and the washing piles up a little bit, that I will be able to get on top of it again. Because in the summer, it's fine. Like, I will just do 6 or 7 loads and dry them outside. But come winter, it's a really, really big battle that I seem to constantly have. So, yeah, that's our plan for this weekend. I am still, of course, going to get the whip and waffles done. So I'm doing one now while hubby's doing that trip, he said, so I can get it off my brain. Because he knows what I'm like. I can get that ticked off my list and we can work on the next step to getting a tumble dryer and trying to get through our mountain of washing that we currently have. And yeah, I'm feeling positive. Kind of gutted I've possibly missed any Black Friday sales on on tumble dryers, but do you know what? It wasn't a thought back then, but sometimes all it takes is a thought. So yeah, I hope your weekend is going good and something you've worked out, something that can tick a box in whatever your life battle is at the moment. I am blessed that my only life battle at the moment is washing, but still I'm extremely happy that I have a solution to said washing battle. Okay, comments, questions. I have rattled on about a tumble dryer far too long. But the other day I did notice when I was going through comments, I noticed after I'd finished filming the last whip and waffle, that YouTube had decided to sort my comments into what they thought was most relevant. So I went to the older comments, but comments will have been read out of order. So I do apologise. I have now got it listed with the newest and I've scrolled down to the bottom. So I am now working on the oldest comments. So we have got some from the second before we go to the third. But Charm Agni Oliver says hello from Arkansas in the US. She says she was wondering if I know if you can use Pattern Keeper with regular diamond paintings like Diamond Art Club or Dreamer Designs. The answer to that one will unfortunately be no. They do need to be in a certain format to work with those, and it's not very often that Dreamer Designs or Diamond Art Club will provide you with a PDF of the chart. There are ways that you could potentially make it work. They do have the option to import the likes of a picture. So there is the potential that you could take a picture and import it and things like that. But it is not very clear cut. Like, it very much prefers a black and white image, which of course the canvases don't come in if you take your own photo. and it can't, you have to input the symbols and things yourselves. So there is the potential for a workaround, but it is not an easy feat in any way, shape or form. And yeah, I don't think it's something that they offer to provide is in a chart format that can be read by Pattern Keeper. So yeah, I wouldn't think, it's not an easy option. Definitely in no way easy to do. Busy Lizzie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says the lighting has been fixed. It's amazing what a difference daylight can make, that's for sure. She says your hand looks normal again. So I am no longer going to mess with the lighting on my videos in any way, shape or form. So we are going with whatever the natural light may be. My camera does have a slight adjustment to make the natural light look a little bit better than what I'm seeing with my eyes. But that seems to be enough to do the job. So I'm not going to mess with any more. And some days will be better than others, because some days the natural lighting does seem to be better than others. But yeah, we're going to go with the flow. She says about the Christmas tree, she says, can we see it? Which I did put that on, and I know this comment was left before I did the video, but I did put my Christmas tree on the back end of a video a couple of days ago. She says, you always talk about the tree, but we never see it on video, she says, and you've piqued my interest. So yeah, what was it? The 5th, I think, with the tree. I put a clip of the tree on that. I actually remembered. I was quite proud of myself. She says they are putting their Christmas tree up this week and they're excited. She says to the person about the non-sticky canvas, so Nellie, this is for you. She says she uses double-sided tape. She says she cuts it to cover the entire canvas and then cuts into sections, she says, and she uses tweezers to pull off like the top side of the double-sided tape. She says it helps her a bunch. So there you go, that's another option. Double-sided tape is a lot easier to get hold of as well. It's often sold in pretty much any craft place, office place, things like that. You can often find double-sided tape, so that should be really easy to get hold of. Sarah B, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she is so excited that Advent is here again. She says, thank you so much for the lovely daily waffles. I do enjoy them. She says they give her a much needed break each day during the crazy time of the year, which is perfect because that's the plan. That's the plan, to have that bit of time when it is the madness that is Christmas. She says she hasn't really commented much recently. She says, but she has been watching my videos religiously. She says she wasn't able to purchase the Advent from the shop this year. She says, which is the first time she's missed it. She says she's sad that she can't open a lovely gift each day. She says, but she is glad to still have the surprise of me opening one each day at the beginning of the Whip and Waffle. She says, have a great day. Oh, bless you. I'm so glad that you're still enjoying getting to see, rather than it causing more disappointment. But yeah, I love Advent time of year. I got some Advent stencils and a pattern in my quilting one this time. Have no idea when I'm going to use them, but there may well be an opportunity. In fact, I do still want to try and make this weekend. Ooh, the next one is rocks. Do I want to do the rocks or do I want to do the tree? I kind of want to do the tree. It's very segmented, this one. We've got grass, we've got tree, we've got rocks, we've got purple. And I kind of want to do it in that order. So I think I'm going to skip to the tree. Sorry, yeah. So actually, yes, I still want to, I lost my train of thought then. I still want to try and make these slightly bigger makeup bags for the girls this weekend. There is a Christmas party event on at the sailing club tomorrow though, so I'm not sure if we're going to that, if I'm going to have a load of time, but I might still be able to do some this evening because I can do that when it's darker. I can't do my whip and waffle when it's darker. We'll see how long the tumble dryer takes. Shouldn't take that long. I only need to empty the games cupboard now. But yeah, I could possibly use a letter to put on the front of each of the makeup bags. So maybe that's something I'll see. I don't know if the letters are going to be too big, but I guess I can have a mess about with that later and see if that will possibly work. Or if the kids would be interested. They may not even want their initials on it. I know Caris wants it done in Spider-Man fabric. So I need to do it in Spider-Man fabric that she has left from the backing of her quilts. She probably won't want a letter on the top of that. Wildcat, she says, hello, Rebecca from Arizona. She says she opened day 1 of the Advent calendar, she said, and she is already so impressed. She says, with the diamond painting kit and drills. She says, fabulous, she says, and a great way to start the holiday season. Well, I thought it was good as well, because if anybody hadn't picked up a painting to do or picked one from their stash to do and kind of regretted it, I figured day 1 would sort that out for them. Or if they have extra time, they could do day 1, or they can just have it earmarked as a project for next year, like whichever suited them, they could do and have that option, which is always good. She says, thank you so much for all your hard work, and she'll be watching my videos daily. Thank you. Thank you for being here throughout my ramblings of whatever it may be. I always thought by the end of this week that life would have slowed down a little bit. And I've realised that it's probably going to take another week to get my life to that level. It's going to take another week. I've got quite a bit of admin things to do before I can switch off from the admin side of things. And then I still have quite a few restocks to do in the shop before I can switch off from that side of things. So I'm giving it another week, and I'm hoping that maybe the tumble dryer will help me get on top of the washing at the same time. We shall see. Rose, she says, yes, she says day 3 makes more sense now. She says, yay, I'm excited to complete the calendar. She says, what a lovely idea. Oh, just threw a diamond on my laptop. Yeah, I love the idea. I've been grinning about it all year. I will say it's been so hard not to sort of blab, I suppose, and yeah, give anything away in relation to the Advent. But it is one of my favourite things. And the fact that once the Advent calendar is done, you still have something that is, there for you to enjoy year on year. So you could enjoy the opening of it this year and the completing of it next year, and then just enjoy it for years to come and still have something left over from this year's Advent. Makes me a very happy bunny. All Things Crafty by Kaz. She says, hi, Rebecca. She says she hopes all is well with me. It is, thank you. I am doing good. I am doing good. She says, up until yesterday, she says she has been on the download, or she says, as her mum went back into hospital in October for a week. She says she's home now, thankfully. Oh, good. I always think people do better in their own homes. She says she's had a nasty cold for the last 2 weeks. So annoying how sometimes a cold will not just do one. I'm surprised I haven't got one yet. I'd say touch wood, but this table's not wood. I imagine I'll end up with one before the end of this whip and waffle, probably. But she says she only felt well enough to go back to work today, and she's writing that on the 2nd of December. She says she's been on a crocheting binge, having nearly completed 1 blanket. She says she's only got 7 rows to do, and she's already bought more wool to start her next blanket. There is something about doing crocheting and knitting in winter, though, isn't there? Like, it's a proper winter craft, I think. And I know a lot of people do it all year round, and I know you can do it in the summer, but there is just something that makes it extra special in the winter. Maybe it's just because you can get yourself toasty warm while you're doing it at the same time. I'm kind of hoping I get a bit more time to do a bit more on my quilt. I've got a very complicated quilt going on at the moment, but it's heading in the right direction. And I would love to be able to get that to the point of being quilted so that I can sit and hand stitch the binding, because I love that part, and I love that part in winter even more so. It's cozier in winter. It's really cozy. Liv's Dotting Den, she says, what a lovely idea for day 3. She says she was a little puzzled at first, she says, but now she gets my idea, which is fab. Awesome. Glad you like it. I hoped that by putting the sticker on the front of the bag as well, it would help people understand what it was for a little bit more. But it depends on which route your brain goes down when you first see it as to whether it becomes clear or not. So I'm very happy that I could clear things up for many people and that they can create their own little advent calendar. Noreen, she says, thanks. She says she didn't know what to do with the card, but she is loving her advent. Awesome. Diamonds and Dobermans, she says, mind blown. She says, what a fantastic idea. She says this will get stored in her Christmas decoration totes. She says, for years of display and joy. She says, thank you. So glad you like it. So glad the secret's out of the bag. Makes it so much easier for me than trying not to say anything, which is so hard. When I just enjoy chatting and sharing things with you all, it's really hard to keep things a secret, that need to be kept a secret. Lady Dax, she says, day 3 done. She says now to do the second day, she says, of Floral Surprise. She says you were so right. She says Pattern Keeper is amazing. It is. She says she didn't put one drill out of place yesterday. She said she is loving it. Takes a little bit to master, but it's not too complicated that that you can't get to grips with it fairly quickly. And it makes it so much nicer of a process to do. It takes out the bit that doesn't need to be complicated and allows you to have something that is a challenge, but not a frustrating challenge. Yeah, I love Pattern Keeper for that. She says so far, she says the 3 sections she's done on the Advent painting, which is this painting, she says have all been different to the ones I've done so far. Ooh, I like a bit of variety with it as well. always good. Say, I very much have a column going on. All I can hear is Luna having a little whingy cry because Daddy's gone out on a weekend and he's not back yet. She's most offended. Ma Cook, she says that what might be what the cardstock and easel were for. She says she also started her Advent painting. She says, but her son asked her to start with 24 and work down. So that's where she started. She's doing a countdown rather than a count up, which I do like the idea of. However, the reason I don't do it that way is I would just get confused on which day it is. It is so much easier to just be able to look at the date on my computer or my watch and know what day I'm doing. It counts it for me. Makes it so much easier. Okay. Oh, I've got a load of blue mixed in with this one. But anyway, let's carry on. So Ellie, she says, hi, Rebecca and Zesties. She says, this is the first year that she has purchased the Advent calendar. She says, and she is loving it very much. And she says she will definitely be participating again next year. She says, day 3, she says, makes much more sense now. She says, thank you. She says she is really enjoying the daily videos while she works on her whip while she's listening. She says her snowflake cover paper arrived this morning. She says, thank you. It's very pretty. She says, so she has changed the cover paper on her big whip, which is Letter to Santa from Diamond Art Studio UK. She says, so it's looking very festive now. See, it's amazing what a smile cover paper can bring to your face, is it not? It can put a festive touch. It can put the right colour on your painting. It can, it's just one of those little things that can just make you smile a little bit bigger while you're doing your diamond painting and just make it all on theme and organised as we like it. As we like things, it brings us more calm. She says next year she is going to buy the Advent painting, she says, as well as the calendar. She says, keep up the good work. She says, love, Ellie. She says, P.S. She says she loves the jasmine and ruby putty. She says it smells amazing. Yes. And on another note, in relation to putty, I have actually very nearly finished my first pack of putty. So there is the odd one that I have used a bit of. So if I'd have just used one pack of putty and not touched any others, I would have finished a pack by now. But a while ago, I started concentrating on just using one putty until it was used up, and it is so close. Like the next time I have to change my putty, I will have used it up. And then I get to pick what scent I do next, which is also exciting. Another exciting thing. Trudy, she says she absolutely loves the Advent for today. She says, what a fantastic idea. Thank you. Doroby Punked, she said she loved today's items. She says she immediately got what it was. She says she thinks she's going to save the little paintings for next year's Christmas time. She says currently she is working on a large painting with lots of green and bright orange and yellow contrast. Oh, that sounds a fun one. I'm loving seeing the daily updates on paintings that people are working on. I love seeing how this one is coming to life in different ways with different people, but I also love seeing the other ones that people are doing and seeing those come to life. And hearing some of the other things that people are doing for me time if diamond painting isn't something they can get done that day. There's been a few things that people have treated themselves with, either, you know, days or trips out, or just self-care things, that, yeah, I love reading them all. Cozy Hosco Hobbies says they love how this piece is turning out. Thank you. It's looking good. It's weird that I'm doing one that completes 2 sections, but it's also kind of nice. That's why I like the randomness of it all. Carmen says she's just come back to diamond painting after taking a break for 2 years after having a baby in December of 2023. Well, congratulations from December 2023, if I haven't had a chance to say it already. And yeah, terrible twos are coming. So it's possibly herself, she says, who had the advent in her basket. She says she received it today. Yes, Carmen, it was you, which is all good. And as I say, I've since had people email me saying, can I get an advent? And I ended up putting them back on. And so yesterday I did actually do a few. I put a few together and put the numbers on the website to reflect that. And then after that, it'll depend on requests and time of year, but it's pretty much done now. So I did put a couple on the website. I know at least one of them is gone. But you've got a few days to catch up and open all at once, which is good. Mrs. Thaxton, she says she so wants an advent calendar. She says, but they decided in October to buy a truck, she says, which pushed their limits to the very break. Oh, sometimes other supposedly more practical things do end up taking over, that's for sure. Let me just dab my pen on my hand. My glue dot was getting a little bit too sticky for its liking, or for my liking. She says, so extras are not allowed. She says the holiday is going to be very slim, she says, but it is going to be happy, which is the main thing. She says they've decided they're going to celebrate Yule from now. She says they've been following the Nordic religion for about a year and they're loving it. She says so they will be gathering with their Norris family. She says as they're from Louisiana, but they live in South Carolina. She says so their real family is not nearby. So she says we'll be making peanut butter, pine cones with seeds, carving a totem pole, feasting and staying up till first light. Love it. She says she is so excited for this, which is all good as well, isn't it? Just the excitement levels, and just how can we make them as good as when we were kids? That's always the question. That's always what we're fighting for. How can we make things as exciting as when we were kids? Because that's when Christmas truly has lots of magic, I think, anyway. She says, thank you for everything you do for your Zesties. She says, if you ever need help, she says she's here. Thank you ever so much. She says she loves the painting that I've come up with this year. Well, I will say this was Sam's design from Diamond Art Studio UK. She is definitely the mastermind behind this image. I'm doing charting, of course, with the other diamond paintings that we have and getting into it, but I am nowhere near quite as good as Sam yet. She says she also loves the fact that I came up with the little paintings with the Advent to do also. She says she's assuming, she doesn't know how long the numbers go up to, she says, but she's hoping they go all the way to 24. I guess time will tell. It's all I can say on that front. But she says, your painting is so colourful, she said, and she would rather do colourful paintings, which is why this one isn't Christmas themed, is because I wanted to do a painting that brings me joy. And colourful paintings bring me joy, and I love doing black outline paintings. Anybody that's watched my Whip and Waffles for a while always know that while there are many images that I do that don't have black outlines, and I still enjoy them and I like the finished painting, I do have a love for a black outline painting. They bring me so much joy. I just really, really enjoy the process of doing them. The actual doing of them, more so than I want lots of colourful paintings to hang up. She says she uses a decision wheel to tell her what symbol to do next on her paintings. She says she hopes everybody has a calm and peaceful holiday season. Yes, calm, peaceful and childlike happy is what we want. It can be calm and peaceful and still have elements of childness happiness as well, I think. I think that's something we should all be able to enjoy. Bring out the kid in you. Craft Addict, she says, hi Rebecca and Zesties. She says when she first saw the squares of cardboard in day 3, she said she was puzzled while she was given them. She said, but as soon as she saw the stand, she said a light went off in her head. She said it hit me straight away what they were for, she says, and she loves it. She says, great idea and thanks for all that you do. You are so welcome and I'm so glad it is being well received. Because, yeah, getting that to all work out and work out right took some time. Kathy, she says she received a mystery bag. So she managed to get a mystery bag. She said she's not sure what one of the items is. She said it's clear and round and is made out of silicone rubber, about 2 to 3 inches round. She says, can you tell me what it's used for? Yes, so that is a grip mat, is what it's called. And it's slightly sticky. And there are different uses for it. I think some of their original uses were like for using in your car, and it sticks to your dashboard and you can stick your phone on it. But in the diamond painting world, if you use the likes of an easel where things are on an angle, you can use it to hold your tray, or I use it to hold my Touch of Zest trash tray on my easel. You can use it, basically to hold things for you, especially if it's on an angle, or you can use them when it's flat to keep things in place as well. So you could pop one here and then use it to just hold your lid maybe as well. And if you find they've started picking up dust and they're losing their sticky, just give it a wash underwater or in the washing up bowl with a little bit of washing up liquid, and it'll go back to being super sticky again once it's dried. But yeah, it's to hold things up on an angle. Some people also use a couple of them if their easel has slidey feet, you know, that when you're pressing it moves. Sorry, delivery. This house is madness. Yeah. So basically they're holding things down. So if your easel slides, you could potentially pop 2 on the table, or maybe even 1, just to keep hold of it and keep it in place. But I tend to use it for one of our little trash trays, or for holding my tray if, you know, I've been diamond painting too long and my hands hurt. But anyway, that is today's done. We have 2 columns, but hey, we're going to start to fix that coming up from now. But yeah, I'm going to go and deal with the chaos that is this house. One of the baubles has fallen off the Christmas tree and Luna now thinks it's a toy. So I'm going to go and rescue that. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again tomorrow.